If you're in your 40s and 50s and you are trying to lose those stubborn last pounds, but no matter what, the weight just won't budge, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to transform your body going into post-menopause. I'm also going to be sharing with you a story of my client who actually hit post-menopause at age 42 after having a hysterectomy. I'm going to be sharing with you 4 key things that helped her build muscle, lose fat, transform her body while eating more food during post-menopause, when they tell you no matter what, your hormones are messed up and you cannot lose the weight. I have so many game changer tips for you today, so grab that pen and paper. We're gonna dive right in. If you guys don't know me, I'm Elizabeth with Elizabeth Ayler Fitness. I have my 4-year degree in kinesiology, CSCS, and I am a holistic nutritionist and a GAPS practitioner. And simply, I help women over 40 build muscle, lose fat, restore their hormones and gut health, all while eating more food. So make sure to subscribe for a new weekly video every Sunday. Like so many women hitting menopause, my client Jennifer, when she hit it at 42, she felt defeated. She went to every trainer and she actually was very active throughout her whole life. She was always in the gym, lifting weights, eating a clean diet. But when she had that hysterectomy, she got all of the symptoms of menopause, the hot flashes, chronic cravings, low energy. She could not build muscle. And she was literally going to the gym for an hour and a half every single day, 7 days a week, to do strength training, and then afterwards would do 45 minutes of cardio following low carb diets, low fat diets, high protein diets, and no matter what, she was worn down. She had an unhealthy relationship with food, and she was training so hard, but she couldn't see the results. And after 8 years of this, Jennifer just was worn down. Her doctor said, you know what, you're in menopause, just keep eating healthy, it's your hormones, and you're gonna have to live like this. But Jennifer did not want to do that, so she reached out to me after finding me on Instagram, and I'm going to take you through now the 4 key things that helped her build muscle, lose fat while eating more food and restoring her gut and her hormones. Before I go into that though, I want to tell you what she was doing before and why it didn't work, because I feel that a lot of individuals that come to me, I work with basically 90% of my clients are women over 40 with perimenopause, postmenopause, and hysterectomy. I want to first share with you what I would say 95% of women do with their diet trying to lose weight when we are in this stage of life and why it doesn't work before I take you into the 4 key things that has transformed her body and got her to the place where she is. The first thing that I see a lot of women do when they go to a caloric deficit is they look at these extreme diets, low carb, low fat, high protein. And I want to explain something to you. When it comes down to it, carbs, fat, and protein, they equal your total calories for the day. But we need, number 1, a certain amount of fat for our hormones, for our brain. 50% of our brain is DHA. Also, we need fat at our meals to absorb our fat-soluble vitamins. So when we go on these low-fat diets, we can get nutritional deficiencies, and we want these healthy fats for our hormones, our brain, anti-inflammatory to the body. The second thing is by cutting all the carbs out. Every 1 gram of carb, your body holds on to 3 to 6 grams of water. So if you initially cut out a lot of carbs, you may be losing a lot of water weight in the beginning. But if you go on more of an extreme diet and you don't see yourself being able to sustain this, you know, a year, 5 years from now, your fat loss is not going to be sustainable. So it's not that you need to go on these extreme diets. We need to make sure that we're getting the good balance of carbs, fat, and protein for our hormones, for recovering from training, for our brain, for anti-inflammatory, our gut health. The second key thing that Jennifer was doing was she was training, like I said, an hour and a half of strength training a day on top of 45 minutes additional on cardio with no rest days.
I was working out an hour and a half a day with weights in addition to about 45 minutes of cardio daily, 7 days a week, no breaks. And I was constantly on program. I was constantly low fat, low carb, high protein, and I wasn't getting the results.
When it comes down to it, it's about training smarter versus harder for our body. As we get older, we have shifts in our hormones. If we're not getting enough nutrition in, we're not sleeping well, we have a lot of stress in our life, and then we're overtraining with that, it's gonna increase your cortisol, which is your fight or flight response. That cortisol is a hormone. It's gonna cause you to store water, retain fat. It's gonna throw off your hormones, your thyroid that runs your metabolism. And then the third thing that a lot of women do, and Jennifer was doing this too, was really looking at our measurements just in terms of the scale. And I'm gonna go into more information now about why that's not the best way to be tracking your progress when it comes to fat loss over 40. We are going into it now. Here are 4 key things to transform your body over 40 going into menopause. And these 4 key things Jennifer did to help her now lose fat while building muscle, eating more food, and developing a healthy relationship and balance with this lifestyle. The first thing when it comes to losing weight during menopause is we started working with Jennifer on training smarter versus harder. Since she came to me doing a lot of cardio, 45 minutes, 7 days a week, on top of she was in the gym doing more cardio strength training, 30-second rest periods, trying to throw in burpees, working up a sweat for that, we had to slowly taper her down. I wanted to find a good balance with her so that we weren't overproducing cortisol, we're able to balance out her hormones, but still keep plenty of movement in her day-to-day basis so that she was able to build muscle, burn more calories throughout the day, and then when I worked on her diet, we were able to actually increase her food. So I slowly brought down that cardio. I structured her strength training so that we were actually in and out of the gym in under an hour and really maximized our compound movements, focusing on following a program for around 6 to 8 weeks before going into a new one, so we could really provide that progressive overload to build the lean muscle mass. And this is so important because when we hit age 40 to 45, we are losing muscle at a rate of 40 to 50% faster going into menopause. And if we have less muscle, and then we're overdoing the cardio, we're gonna have more fat, less muscle, a slower metabolism, and then as we get older, we start getting, our joints, our aches, our pains, bone loss. So the first key thing we did is work on training smarter versus harder, tapering down the cardio, really structuring her strength training to build lean muscle mass and get her in and out of the gym in under 45 minutes. And this is gonna be key for all my women because I know a lot of you are coming to me and you wanna burn as many calories as you can in that workout. But the key is with cardio, yeah, you're burning calories in the moment, but when we have more muscle on us, we are long-term increasing our metabolism and we're burning more calories throughout the day. And one more thing I do want to mention is I looked at her NEAT, which is her non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the amount of movement throughout the day. So we're able to taper down that cardio, increase her movement throughout the day so that she's working smarter, like I said, and she's not spending hours in the gym. She's just doing lifestyle things to actually have more caloric burn in the long run. The second key thing is we focus on making shifts with our diet. So here is the deal. Like I talked about, when we don't feel good and we're retaining water, we're storing fat, we typically go from one extreme to the next. We'll go from our standard American diet to cutting down to like 1,200 calories, trying to do this bodybuilder approach where you're just eating rice and chicken and or you just go to a crazy keto fast diet and you cut out main food groups. But here's the deal. We don't want to create restriction in our diet. We want to create a balance. We need a healthy balance of carbs, fat, and protein, like I talked about, for absorbing our fat-soluble vitamins, protein for building our lean muscle mass, carbs for actually spiking our insulin to pull the protein in the muscle to fuel your training session, for our brain, that's your immediate source of energy. So with Jennifer, she was doing all of these restrictive diets, cutting out major food groups. And what I did was I set up her macros macros, which is her carbs, fat, and protein, for her metabolism, making sure she was getting enough protein so she was able to maintain / build lean muscle mass. Number 2 is making sure she was getting enough healthy fats for anti-inflammatory. And number 3 was enough carbohydrates, because as we are getting older, we want to work with our insulin levels. So it's not about you needing 300-400 carbs a day or going crazy keto. I have a baseline at where I start my clients in menopause, and depending on our activity level, I adjust it so that we're not having these high insulin spikes, but we're getting enough carbohydrates for lowering our cortisol, for our energy, for muscle repair and recovery. With her diet, when it comes to transforming your body over 50, is finding a balance with the macronutrients. That was key. Not cutting out major food groups. Also, I looked at her diet in terms of healthy food swaps. Each week when we checked in, I was looking at, okay, how are we structuring our meals? What changes, what foods can we add in to support our gut, our thyroid, our hormones, getting enough micronutrients in through our diet? Because the key is when we cut out major food groups and we go to the more bodybuilder diet, you're getting very limited, and we want to make sure we're getting a good diversity for our gut microbiome, getting enough of our micronutrients for our thyroid function that controls our metabolism. The third tip is absolute game changer. I'm saving like the best for last. Before we go into it, I want to mention something. When it comes down to it, it's not just about calories in versus calories out when it comes to fat loss. If you've been struggling for so long trying every diet out there, keto, carnivore, you keep yo-yoing out, you have chronic cravings, you feel bloated, run down, and you're training so hard but you don't see the results, come and join my 90-day transformation challenge. It starts November 27th. I'm only taking on a few individuals, and during this time frame, I help my clients over the course of 12 weeks learn everything they need to know on pre and post workout nutrition, how to train smart for their body. We look at gut health, hormones, how to eat out while traveling. I set them up for success so that they get sustainable results when it comes to fat loss. And the key is we have a whole support community on top of that. I do educational lives every single week, and I truly just want my clients to create a healthy relationship with food, understand what is going on in their body, and I want to make it so easy for them. I want them to know when they're going away how to eat out when traveling, what to choose at the restaurants, not be reliant on me. And that is why I created my 90-day transformation challenge, to teach all my clients everything they need to know so that they're in control of their body. They don't need me forever. They know what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and we make it so it's able to adapt to their busy lifestyle. I work with busy women. So if this sounds like it is for you, I want you to head to the description, fill out my application, and we will set up a call to see if we're that perfect fit. Fill it out. I don't know what's holding you back. We're going to be going into the new year 2024, and that is only one day in the holidays. Let's set us up for success going into the new year, feeling our strongest, sexiest self.
I had to take a moment to commend Elizabeth on how much she has helped me. I hit menopause at 42. I have symptoms, hot flashes, mood swings, not to mention the ability to not be able to develop muscle, the weight gain around the waist. It's a constant struggle. 8 years ago, I really started struggling. I couldn't put on muscle. I couldn't lose weight. All the normal stuff that I ever did wasn't working. I was working out an hour and a half a day with weights, in addition to about 45 minutes of cardio daily, 7 days a week, no breaks. And I was constantly on program. I was constantly low fat, low carb, high protein, and I wasn't getting the results. And then I found Elizabeth. The difference that she has afforded me with her training has been unreal. I'm eating more carbs, more protein, more fat than I've ever eaten in my life. And I'm only working out maybe an hour a day lifting weights and then 15 minutes to 30 minutes cardio. But that's only 5 days a week. I actually now give myself 2 days of rest. I'm enjoying more of what I'm eating. I'm not so stringent. I have people coming up to me and making comments all the time about, you're the thinnest I've ever seen you. You're the best shape I've ever seen you. My body composition is actually changing. And at the age of 55, that's really something. So if you're hesitating contacting Elizabeth and using her, do not hesitate. I was a little scared at first too. What do you mean I'm supposed to eat 120 carbs a day, 50 grams of fat, 130 grams of protein? I'm going to gain weight. But I didn't. I rapidly lost weight. I started developing muscle. I got better sleep. My skin was better. My hair was better. I had so many positive changes. I actually had someone approach me and ask me if I had work done because they think I look younger now than I did when I started with Elizabeth. So she's really just an amazing trainer. And she's not just interested in your physique. She's interested in what's going on in your life. What's holding you back? What are the stressors in your life that are keeping you from sleeping, that are keeping you from becoming your best self? And she truly cares for each and every client.
I'm back at you with that third tip, and it is going to be changing our mindset when it comes to tracking our progress. Like many women, I was the same. I really relied on the number on the scale to track my weight loss. When it comes down to it, our weight, especially women, and we're getting into that menopause, it could fluctuate on a day-to-day basis because of our shifts in our estrogen, our progesterone, stress, if you're eating out, if you don't have a good bowel movement. When we're so focused on each day, that scale, if it's going up and down, that weight can fluctuate because of all of these different reasons. But true fat loss is when we're losing inches. So I actually have my clients not just track weight, we look at progress pictures. We look at measurements. We compare the two. We see how we're feeling strength-wise. We're looking at our food, our macros. That way, we're able to see the wins each week, see the inches going down, see that we're eating more, yet we're getting stronger in the gym. Our clothes are fitting differently. We see the pictures of us losing fat, because the truth is, a lot of my clients, the weight may stay the same, but the clothes, they don't fit the same. We're losing inches, like I said. We're transforming the body. We're getting just more energy, more strength in that gym. But because of the weight fluctuations, that's just one thing that we get so focused on. So with Jennifer, by switching our focus off the number on the scale, we were able to take the stress and the anxiety off of I'm not doing it right, I'm not getting results. We started looking at measurements, pictures, hitting these PRs, our personal best in the gym, lifting heavier weight. And she started saying, oh my God, every week we checked in, I'm hit a PR. I'm fitting into jeans that used to not fit me. They used to be always too tight. I'm losing another inch in my waist. And these wins made her feel so confident about her journey and really took the focus off of the scale, which a lot of the times the scale can really affect our mindset and hold us back. And my fourth tip, like I said, the best for last, this is the most underlooked one when it comes to fat loss, is our sleep. We overlook sleep. We think we could just cut our food. We think we could just increase the cardio and lose weight. But sleep is where we're restoring, we're recovering. If we don't sleep good, a lot of times we have more cravings the next day, we're moodier the next day, our cortisol's up, we're retaining water. So we addressed with Jennifer sleep habits, we created new ones, and we were able to take her from unable to slow her mind and fall asleep to actually getting the best sleep of her life. It's just about making lifestyle changes and creating a balance with it when it comes to transforming your body through menopause. It's not about anymore just cutting your calories and doing cardio. What used to work no longer works because we're working with the new version of you. And that doesn't mean you can't transform your body. Like I said, I've helped over 800 women, and I mean with Hashimoto's, thyroid issues, a foot of their colon removed, all transform their body, eating more food, building healthy relationships. So if you need help, head over to the description, fill out my application, and let's set up a call to join my 90-day transformation challenge so I can help you achieve those sustainable results as well, and allow you guys to build a confidence with it so you guys know what to eat when you're out. You know what to do for your body. You have control of your life and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you Sunday.